Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is the 28 to 30 week pregnancy update, and now we are officially in the third trimester. Excuse me if I have to move around and the position changes. Sitting down for a long time gives me the worst pins and needles these days. So yeah, we're officially into the third trimester and it feels like we're on the home stretch now, which is terrifying in so many ways. But things have really changed from, say, like 15 weeks ago when I was doing my first update, where I had a tiny little bump and I thought it was huge and I was all like, oh yeah, lockdown, it'll be fine. How have we got to this point in the world? It's crazy. There are kind of a few good things about obviously coming out of this weird time, is that things are easing. I've been able to go shopping, back to work in the odd day here and there, and just trying to get ready for maternity and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, life is flying and it's just sort of like, can it slow down a little bit now? I'd like to kind of do all the things I wanted to do in the last 15 weeks and I've got about 9 to go. It's mad, but we are here, we're happy and all is good. But I have to say the third trimester has been a whirlwind and it's only been 2 weeks. So the third trimester is exactly as it says on the tin, in the way of it is really the final countdown. And as soon as I hit the 28-week mark, everything hit me. I've got notes on my phone because my memory is shocking these days. Just to remind myself like what happens, because you forget and then you don't remember how like weird something was. So I wrote these ones on the 28th week. I said I put feel huge, which is still accurate. My feet were on fire if I go for a day out, and I get cramp in my calves when I wake up. Now all of these things are basically like that week of where we could start going shopping and do more. I don't think it was the exact week, but it's a few weeks later, because it's only about 2 weeks ago now. But we went out for a day shopping to get the pram and my feet were on fire, and I didn't realise how much my body had sort of changed and wasn't, you know, up for the stamina, because I've always been relatively active, as in I'm not a gym girl or anything like that, but I'm quite slim. I'm normally quite, you know, good at keeping my stamina up. But when we were out for a day shopping, it was like my feet were on fire and I couldn't stand for much longer. I couldn't do a full day like I ever used to be able to do. Like if I went shopping for a day, I could do like 9 to 5 and be happy with that. I could barely like keep going. I needed a break. I needed like a chocolate bar to pick me up. So it's a real difference in life again, because obviously with lockdown, I've just been at home all the time, and even if I've done like the odd walk or gone out for a day, it's a very short burst of something. Whereas a full day of doing something has really whacked me out now. And even being at work, like the first few days of doing that really tired me out. So it is a real difference, and you don't realise what your body's kind of dealing with until you have to like take a break, and I'm just not used to that. So that's been interesting. Cramping calves, that was a big one, and I even spoke to my midwife about that, because I woke up and it'd be like my legs were just like, you know, you'd wake up in the morning and have a stretch and my legs were like, they'd just be solid and it would really hurt. And what my midwife suggested was having a banana or a glass of milk, and a glass of milk before bed. Banana's supposedly good for cramp, and calcium helps your bones and keeps them happy. So I did that a couple of times. I mean, a banana before bed doesn't really always sit too well, but it worked, and now I'm pretty much out of that bit. I get it occasionally, but I know when to kind of not stretch too far. And one of the weirdest days was when I'd got cramp in my foot and one of my toes was literally just like that, and I couldn't get it back to normal, so that was a bit weird. But pregnancy does these weird things to you. The main thing about this trimester, and it was kind of towards the end of the second as well, is the hunger. I think I mentioned it last time. I am always hungry now, always, and I literally don't think I can eat enough. And I'm trying to actually eat more, because I think my general everyday diet isn't 2,000 calories. It's not, you know, I'm not although I can eat a lot if I want to, and people often say, where'd you put it, that kind of thing. I don't think I probably hit that 2,000 mark generally, but I know that I need to eat more in order to help the baby and also keep my energy up and keep everything ticking over. So what I'm trying to do is eat more small meals more often and have some healthier snacks, which is so much easier said than done, I know, because it just feels like a healthy snack is fruit, and fruit kind of gets a bit boring after a while. Our food bill has definitely gone up anyway because of lockdown, and now it's like I need more food, so it keeps going up. So it'd be great if the prices could go down, but generally I'm just hungry, and I like will eat before bed and stuff now because I just wake up starving. I'll show you at the end, but my bump has really got big. I think it popped maybe the 28-week. It really did look bigger, and then before it would be quite like, you know, I've got my hips and then there'd be a bump, and now it's pretty much my hips and everything is round. So it is definitely getting wider and more round, like across my whole body, not just like a little bump on the front. As I said, prepping for nursery. We're in it right now because it's got the best lighting, even though it's really not that great in here right now. We've got everything over here. I might do a quick pan around. Lots of things, but still no furniture, and I couldn't even tell you when it's due to arrive. I'm having real trouble with a lot of the companies at the moment. It's actually really frustrating. Because they're not actually telling you when things are going to arrive, and then everything's just constantly delayed. And I get that there's the pandemic, really do, but a bit of customer service would not go amiss, especially when you're a pregnant lady and you start nesting and all you want to do is just sort all of those boxes and put them away. Like, it looks like I've got a lot of stuff is just boxes on top of another box, but it's just getting a little bit frustrating that it's a bit of a mess now, and I can't put it anywhere, and I can't even wash any of the clothes because what's the point if they're not going to go away? So a little bit annoying, but we're getting there, and you know, I've got a lot of stuff. Like, I think if the baby was to have suddenly arrived right now, I would have clothes to put her in, nappies, stuff like that. Week 30, which was kind of this week, kind of last week, my weekday is Saturday. I had the worst heartburn on Saturday evening. No idea what kicked it off, but it was so painful. I was in tears, like literally crying. It was like 11 o'clock at night. I had the worst pain here. I couldn't swallow it. Nothing was fixing it. I had a Gaviscon that didn't even touch it. I was just in pure agony, and Dan wanted to take me to hospital, and I was like, we're not going to hospital for heartburn. One, because I'd be on my own in the whole thing, and two, it's not an emergency. It was just heartburn, but it just wouldn't go. So that was fun, and it's eased now. I've got some liquid instead of the tablets, but in the evening when I lay down, it's still like there's a fire in my chest, which isn't great. But it is just one of those common pregnancy signs, isn't it? And it was just awful because I was literally in tears, like I just can't get it to go, and just had to like sit up in bed basically and try and fall asleep, but also not be on my back. It was weird. Didn't like that pregnancy symptom. And apart from that, we get kicking all day long now. Yesterday at dinner, I literally felt like I was about to be like, have like an alien pop out my stomach, because it was literally like it felt like someone was clawing out. And there are times where her kicks are huge. Last night we saw her kick, and it was literally like you could see the belly go like a big jump. And I will be sitting at work, I'll be sitting right here right now and feel kicks all day. I never realised before, Dan and I were talking about this yesterday, how much a baby kicks. And I don't know what we thought would happen. Sorry if you can hear knocking. I don't know what we thought kicking would be like. I think it's kind of like some things where you think it's just an evening thing or a morning thing. Like morning sickness is generally just the morning. But kicking really is all day long. I mean, they have their quiet spells, like where they sleep. But there have been some days where I'm like, can you just give it a rest a little bit? Like, it's just a bit constant, which I know sounds awful when you say that out loud, and people probably would bash you for saying it, especially like, it's an amazing thing to be pregnant, but sometimes it's just like, what is my stomach doing? Like, she's just going nuts in there, and you just wish you could see it, like a little TV, like a Teletubby on your screen, on your bump, so you could see what they were up to, because sometimes I'm thinking like, what body part is that? And it is mad. I still can't get my head around how I've literally managed to grow like a human with bones and eyeballs and body parts, that when they come out they'll be fully functioning. It boggles me that is even I know like that is evolution and all that, but it's mad how it all works. So I think that, because especially the other week we literally were laying down and I could feel a bone like right under the bump. It was a physical bone, like maybe it was a shin, and it was hard, and I was like, I can't actually touch that, that's really weird, because it was just like, that's through my skin, through like all the fluids and whatnot, and that's a bone, and it was just like, I don't get it. And I guess the only other thing this last week, I had my 28-week appointment, And I guess, oh yeah, should have mentioned this part. I had my 28-week appointment, that was fine. Had a very annoying nurse again. Literally just having no luck with the people that I'm being given because my midwife is shielding, my midwife is lovely. It's just a shame she's shielding because the people I'm getting instead are rubbish. But she's doing her best, obviously from home, but it's so annoying that I've not really seen her for 20 odd weeks. But yeah, had my 28-week appointment, that was fine. Got to hear the baby's heartbeat again, and that was finally a face-to-face appointment, which has been long overdue, let me tell you. They were all happy with everything and said that she's measuring fine and all that sort of stuff, which was good. But then the next day, literally that was the Tuesday, and on the Wednesday, I woke up, and normally baby will kick me sort of when I wake up. It's kind of just like the routine. We wake up and we feel a kick. And that morning she was really quiet, and I was like, that's a bit weird. Let's get some breakfast. Maybe she's just, you know, not got enough energy, and like I'm trying to eat more breakfast. Had a bowl of Frosties and a big drink, and like I think I had a muffin as well, so I had some sugar just to try and help. And she still wasn't really active. Like there was the odd like ripple, but nothing like normal. So cute, a load of tears from me, thinking the worst. And I was like, said to Dan, he was on a video call, and I said, like when he was finished, I was like, I'm not happy, I want to get this checked out. Which is the sensible thing to do. Like if you just don't know, don't wait, just go get it checked. That's what the NHS is there for. Always hard going into hospital on your own when you think something's wrong. Now, this is my biggest issue at the moment, is that dads, partners, dads, they are just as much a parent as myself. Just because I'm growing the baby doesn't mean Dan doesn't deserve to have all of the experience that I'm having. And going into the hospital when you think something's wrong on your own is really hard. And I think it's even harder for the dads because they just have to sit there and wait and find out, but yet keep a brave face on for you. It's not right, and I really, really, really wish the rules would change, because that's what's frustrating me. I can get my nails done, go to the gym, I go to the swimming pool, but my husband can't be there if there's something wrong. That's a whole nother story. So I went into the Fetal Health unit. Couldn't get hold of anyone at first, which was great. Literally called about 10 different people, no one answered, so that's fun. But got into Fetal Health. They put me on like a machine where they put like a, if you don't know, first time mums, they put a pad on the top of your bump, and then another one where they find the baby is, or they think that she'll be. And you can hear the heartbeat through this machine. It tracks her heartbeat, and it tracks uterine levels, I want to say, which I believe are like contractions. Like if this level was really high, it would mean you were in labour, I think. And basically they just check to see everything tallies up, she's in there, everything's good, that kind of thing, which was good. And as soon as they put this pad on my stomach with like ultrasound gel, very similar thing, she kicked it, literally belted it off, and we were all like, oh, there she is. Typical, and I'm sure it happens all the time, but at least we knew she was okay. She was just really well hidden that day, because even like I had to hold the pad against my stomach because she was that like deep in my stomach. Everything was fine, they were all happy with it. I did have another blood test, and they did think that my iron levels might be a bit low, so I've had another blood test to double check, but everything is fine. So after that tiny little scare, I was glad that I did check it out, because you should never leave these things just in case. And once you know, like, you know, you can hear her heartbeat, she's there. So that has been the last 2 weeks, and I can't believe it's only been 2 weeks. I'm terrified for the next 9, because in a short space of time it's all really kicking off. And I think you can just tell that like birth is imminent, because things are changing so quickly, and even my bump is like harder and heavier, and it's different. But yeah, I'm getting ready for maternity. Sad to be leaving work, but I'm sure once she's here I won't even care, but it is hard. So yeah, the last 2 weeks have been intense, but I think I'm kind of on the home stretch, and there are days where I sit here and just think, I'm ready for her to arrive now. She could arrive and I'll be happy, because I'm a bit bored now, and now we're out of lockdown. I just think, well, what do I want to do? Like, you know, we can do everything now, and I can't actually think what I want to do apart from have the baby here. So it's weird. Very, very weird. But yeah, that's my 2-week update. I might try and do them once a week now because we've only got a few more weeks to go. It may just depend on timing and if anything actually happens in 1 week compared to 2, because obviously before I was doing it as 2 because nothing really happens in just 1 week, but things are happening more often now, so we will see. I will show you the bump and then yeah, we'll catch up soon. Hope you're doing well, stay safe, and let's hope this crazy time will be over soon. Goodbye. Excuse the lighting, but this was the best angle. This is the bump front on. Don't really look pregnant. Bump to the side, very pregnant. It's very sort of middle low now. It was a bit higher before. And you can really feel her like here. My jeans barely fit around the bump because I've got under the bump jeans now. Nothing really fits under the bump anymore. But yeah, that is the bump. Very, very big now. It's crazy to think that when it was like 15 weeks, it was like here, and I was like, it's so big. But yes. And as you can see, rather large that way as well. Literally non-existent belly button, it's so gross, I hate it. But yeah, quite round. Quite happy. And no stretch marks yet. That is all.